and welcome to At the Canal on Vanguard Live. Here at the Canal,
we discuss human interest stories at the Canal.
Critical issues are being discussed at the Canal.
We inform and educate people.
Join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday at the Canal.
Let's have that conversation.
Hello and welcome to At the Canal on Vanguard Live. My name is Precious Chukwu and I'll be doing this with
Damlola Ogunshaki.
And today at the Canal we have a very interesting discourse, and if you've been going through your social media of late and if you've been following the stories, you'd have seen the Channels TV reporter who was accused by his wife of physical battery, and also that he cheats on her with other women, and for the past 6 years of their marriage, she has been enduring the marriage, and she gave a lot of account of how when she had her last child, the man sat on her incision. She gave a lot of details of also how she, maybe before they got married or while they were married or something, she stumbled upon like a paper where he wrote some prayer requests on this thing on that God helped him to break free from abusive women and like that. And then the story was everywhere. I mean, she's a doctor, and someone of her caliber, you would not be expecting that with someone of such repute would also be going through what we call domestic violence these days, physical battery. You would not expect that something like that to be happening to her, but then it's happening because it shows that domestic violence is no respecter of any profession or any person. It can happen to anybody whatsoever. What do you think about this story?
The whole story, when I first saw the story, I was surprised, just like you said, because she's a doctor. I was like, a doctor should know better, because part of what I think what she said was that they've been married for 6 years, and throughout those 6 years, she's not, it's just like from one situation to another, they're always battling domestic violence, in bitter today or tomorrow, and all that. So like, she's supposed to know better. She has gone through many things. I'm sure she has treated some people and all that, and with these things going on, I think she really had it up to here. For someone to sit in a place where you had your operation and all that, you should know things that will happen, and you should be able to protect yourself, your family, and your children. And I believe, her coming out to say it also, to tell people it's actually a good thing. But, the old thing that ended this matter is just what I really don't like.
All right, let's take a very good look at, different forms of abuse. People are very exposed to different forms of abuse. Could be physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, abuse in different faction, mental abuse as well.
Yes.
And if we're going to be talking about physical abuse, it's like the battery that we see, where it could be between people of both genders, or opposite genders. A man beating his wife, or a woman in turn beating her husband, where you see pictures of like solemn faces, battery, all those kind of things. And then in case of mental abuse is when people curse out people and make them feel less of a person, make them feel, look at you, you are so dumb, you don't have anything in your head, and you keep repeating words like that to those kind of people. Then it just really like dampens them. Emotional abuse too has a little bit of mental abuse with itself, but you play on their emotions and they make them feel less of a human being. Financial abuse could be, this person is not doing well financially, and every time when you have the opportunity, you just want to hamper on it or hammer on it and say, you're not making
your
so
mates
much
are
money.
outside into you're just here sitting down and just enjoying my money.
Exactly, those type of things. And so now let's take a very closer look at this physical abuse, because this is basically what this story is all about. The fact that this woman in herself is going through what we call has been a norm for a long time coming, and it should not be a norm, because having people who beat up their spouse, because aside from the fact that it's a woman, there are also men who also go through physical abuse too.
Yeah.
But in this case now, in the past we've seen cases of people like Bola Arowolo or something like that. I don't know if you can remember that
Yeah, I
story.
don't know.
The woman who her husband stabbed 76 times. You know, it was a very gruesome ordeal that happened in 2011. I mean, that story is still one of the stories that people keep talking about. The man was even a pastor, of which people feel like, oh, he's a pastor, he should, you know, have more intelligence, or you should also have the hand of the Lord resting on him, and not to do stuff like that. But then that's not the case.
We also have the case of Miriam Sanders.
Yes, Miriam Sanders too.
Yeah, that's also one of the things that happened there. And you know, some of these things now, this is where it ended. We actually don't know what they were going through in their home before so disaster happened. But this is something that you know that it has not gotten anywhere close to that. Like I think I heard you know, this dancer Kafi saying something. She was like, you know, this is like, it's like she has signed a death warrant. It's like this is just like a link to that, because you going back to that relationship, you suffering physically for a long time with children. It's like you're building this children's mind that this is okay.
Now you saying she's going back, you know, it still takes me back to that Bola Arolo story. The lady, you know, he kept beating her. She kept going back about 10 times until he eventually killed his wife on his birthday, you know, and that was the story. That was the end of the story. I'm sure within those 10 times that she was going back and forth, when he would beat her, she would leave herself. You know, the family would have said, it's okay, go home, don't worry, God will take control.
But there are reasons why people don't do that,
you know. And then now, you know, she's dead, and I mean, they say now who they are alive, now they talk.
But there are reasons why people don't want to leave their wedding. They don't want to leave their marriage. Now that is it.
These are the reasons why I think we need to talk about what exactly you think will be the reasons why people do not want to leave their marriage.
Of course, some of them is the societal, you know, issues. We have people who will look at you and just say, okay, I'll leave her husband left her now. Is she not the one? If she's okay, why is she not in her husband's family, in her husband's house rather? And also, when you talk about the children, also you look at it that, okay, I want my child to grow up in a proper home with a father figure there. You understand? I just don't want to stay there and train my child alone. So he or she will want the other partner there, so they will want to stay in the relationship. That is another reason why women stay. Then another, it's people who, you know, convince them, tell them that it's okay to be abused. Some of them will just tell you, it's not that it's angry. You know, after he beats you, we calm down. Then the next moment, he will apologize, and you guys will go back to normal.
You know, this thing you're saying reminds me of I was with some group of friends, and there was this lady who is married, and she was just with her friends. Next thing, like when you look at her body, she had like teeth bites, like very deep, like when somebody actually wanted to remove someone's skin. So they're asking her that, do you have a dog in your house? Or because it was like literally everywhere on her hand, and she said, you should forget, it's my husband. Whenever he's angry, he just bites me like that. I'm telling you.
Are you kidding me? He just bites her anytime she's angry.
That's what she says. Okay. Anytime my husband is angry.
So he's trying to, you know, relieve his anger.
So he takes a pound of her flesh by biting her, you know, bites her body. So every part of her, it looks like a deep tattoo. I'm telling you, that's how, like, the teeth mark everywhere on her hands, you know. And so I was like, so people really go through things like this. And I was like, our friends were trying to, you know, advise her, take your bag. And she said, see, don't worry, we've been doing this for 10 years now. We will survive. Imagine that kind of mentality that our
10 years. How many years to go?
The question is not even how many years. The question is, he can kill you. The next bite might not just be a bite.
That is the issue. But some people don't get it. They just feel like, since I've been able to survive up to now, I can still survive for a long time and nothing will happen. And you know, there are sometimes that you see ladies saying, I can change him. Today I'll sit him down, talk to him. Tomorrow I'll take him to a pastor or to an imam to teach him and tell him that, okay, this is wrong, this is not this. Give him book to read, and you expect that he will change. Maybe today, you know, he hits you like twice. Tomorrow he hits you once. Maybe like for 3 days he forgets to hit you, and you just believe that he has changed. One day he will snap and need to go back. that is one thing that women need to understand, or even men need to understand, that you don't stay in a violent relationship because you don't know what will happen. You can never tell what will happen the next second.
With the abuser is that whenever they've done anything, they come back in a very apologetic state.
Yeah,
that makes it look like
tell.
If you're not going to accept the apology, it's like you're the bad person.
Yeah.
Now somebody beats you, and next thing he's crying and making it look like his life he cannot live without you, and then he's buying you, maybe some of them even go as far as even buying them gifts. For example, if you're a lover of bags or shoes or maybe perfumes, they would buy you these things, and like it's as a form of bribery to silence you from speaking about whatever had happened between both of you before now. And it's like, okay, I'm begging you, so we'll buy flowers. I remember when there was this video that was going viral on social media, I got flowers today, of how the girl, her husband would keep beating her until eventually the flowers she got was on her graveyard. And this is one of the reasons why we keep speaking about it, which is the reasons why women who keep themselves in abusive relationship. Now, stigma, this societal stigma in itself is what keeps people from moving ahead. People like to brandish people. Not be that woman. Now she then divorced now. I mean, she where her husband leave him. If to say, like you said, if to say she be better person, they know for leave him. That kind of thing. It's a very wrong mentality. And unfortunately, we live in a society where people will always identify you according to your problems, according to whatever is going on in your life.
That just reminds me. You just say, now that auntie we divorced now. You know, remember? Okay, this one. You know, they just want to call you, and the next thing they'll just do is, now that girl with a rip now. Now that girl with a do this.
Yes.
So these things, people really don't want it to stick to their name.
But
it's
my
really
question
wrong.
is, should it really be of your own concern? Because no, and like I mentioned, now they are alive, now they walk, now they chop, now they do all that things. Now, if you're not alive, because if you keep basing, because a lot of times, I think that especially here in this part of the world, Nigeria, we are so concerned about what people say about us.
That's it.
We are 100% concerned. How we sit, how we breathe, how we eat, how we do literally everything we do. We are so concerned that anything that we need to take other people's thoughts about how we act is a very big problem for us. So in such cases, people feel stigmatized. How will I leave this man? I'll leave him. You know why? These things that, as much as we're talking about this story, it looks like it's very far, but if you look around you have people who are also going through abuse around you.
I think one of the things that most women think about is, will I be able to get married again? I need a partner in my life. That is what most women think about. And they'll tell you that, imagine a child, parents, when they want to talk, and they tell, okay, the person I'm marrying, okay, she has a child outside marriage. She's not divorced. Okay, she's, she got pregnant, without getting married, and I'm going to marry her. Parents go against this union just because she gave birth before, she made a mistake, not a mistake,
and
actually.
The question is,
and also, and you just start asking, what is going wrong? What is wrong in this matter? What happened? Are you telling me that you're judging our character by what actually happened with her or any other thing? And you're talking about a divorcee right now. Many people will tell you, you need to do findings. You need to go to the environment where she's staying to ask about her. You need to, visit people who maybe where she actually buy things from, people from her workplace, to know her personally, and just to find out that the reason why she got divorced is because of whatever she's telling you. So these things are what we face. People who get divorced now, some of them will tell you that if I want to marry again, I have to marry a divorced man, or I have to be the second wife to another person. And that is what people don't want to go for. And they'll tell you, I need a man in my life who is going to foot the bill. That is what people are mostly worried about.
I think let's just look at this story again, and the fact that women always make that excuse of, I'm staying for my children. If I leave,
that's another thing.
Who will take care of them? Forgetting that when you die, those children will equally continue their life. I mean, death is something that we don't have power over, which is one of the things that human beings cannot even make naturally. And imagine not being able to control death and not knowing if you can die this very minute, and then knowing that you can save yourself from actually dying by leaving an abusive person, either a man or a woman. I don't get it. We've seen stories of even men who have been abused where they are sleeping at night and their partner cuts off their private parts, you know. Stories like that, we keep hearing those kind of things. Maybe see the case of that Miriam Sander, who apparently made mention of the fact that her husband basically she found some text messages on the man's phone, and then she killed the man, and she said one thing, you know, these stories are they are always the minutest things that eventually, you know, leads to things like this. But then let's just go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll keep discussing more on this abuse matter.
Every single day.
Hello and welcome to At the Canal on Vanguard Live. Here at the Canal,
We discuss human interest stories at the canal. Critical issues are being discussed at the canal.
We inform and educate people.
join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the Canal.
Let's have that conversation.
Hello people, my name is Ifeoma. I'm a doctor. I've been married to this man, Pius Ambo of Channels Television for 6 years. And for 6 years I've known no peace in this marriage. It's been from one woman to another. Sleeps from one woman. Just had a baby. It was a cesarean section. Just about 4 weeks ago. Just because I told him to spend wisely and not spend on women so recklessly, considering that we have 4 children and these children have to be trained. That's why I got this beating. Tried to strangle me and all that. Sat on my incision and everything. The children were crying, and I was pregnant with this child. When the pregnancy was 3 months, it was the same thing. He would sit on my stomach, hit me, try to strangle me and all that. Calling him out, he works with Channels TV. His name is Pius Iroja Angbo from Benue State.
Mommy, sorry.
Thank you. Just for you to know, I thought I got married to a fellow human being. Though I saw a paper where he wrote prayer requests even before he got married, I stumbled into that paper here. He wrote, thank God for saving him from hatred and abuse for women.
Do you want to wake up,
Obviously,
baby?
it's still on. You can see my face. It is well with my soul. First of all, I sincerely want to thank the governor of the state. He's really shown he's a father. I thank you, sir, for in the midst of your busy schedules, you've made out time to talk to us and advise us. I've taken your counsel, sir, and going forward, I intend to make my marriage work. I accept your apology, my husband, and to my people in Imo State. They were not happy about what happened at all. I please also want to plead with you to forgive my husband, and to my auntie Uchina, I also want to thank you. You've been like a mother to me here and a sister. Thank you for everything you've done, and to the rest of the world, I want you to have a place in your hearts to forgive my husband. In this time, I need your prayers for my family and my children. We have 4 children who are still very tender, and all we need now is your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Every single day, I'm gone.
Hello and welcome to At the Canal on Vanguard Live. Here at the Canal,
We discuss human interest stories at the canal. Critical issues are being discussed at the canal.
We inform and educate people.
join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday at the Canal.
Let's have that conversation.
Come back, and we're still talking about the abuse case of the channel's reporter and his wife. Of course, you saw a video of a reconciliation of the Governor Autumn, where the woman has, gone back, and a lot of people have still been talking about the matter. The fact that people have seen it as a way of for the man to continue to do what he's doing. Some people are seeing it as a way of since the man has been exposed in the public, he might not want to do it again. But then some are of the opinion that for exposing him, she might now regret it, and even for going back. And this is also going to bring more of the discussion of the fact that when things like this, do you fault the woman for coming out in public to speak about what's going on? Because some people say you're supposed to keep whatever is going to your marriage calm. You should keep it inside, or talk to your religious leaders, people who because these are the things that people say. Instead of coming out on social media, why didn't you talk to your
you mentioned
religious
said
leaders?
religious leader, and you just don't forget that before we went to a break, you mentioned the religious leader who killed his wife.
Of course, which is
So
true.
we are saying going to your religious leader. Definitely, always the advice from some religious leaders will be, just stay there. You call the husband, you advise today, you call the husband tomorrow, you advise, and at the time the pastor gets tired, or the religious leader, anybody just gets tired. So definitely, what is it going to be? You have to still stay in the marriage. And now you ask the question, who are you supposed to fault? Are we going to fault the lady for coming out, or this? I think we should just fault the whole reconciliation process itself, reconciling both of them. This is not the first time this thing is happening. It's not the second time. It's for the past 6 years. She mentioned it in her first video then, that these things for 6 years she has not been happy in that marriage because of the domestic abuse every time. And we're saying that we are reconciling them for this last one that he did. While she was pregnant for her last child, 3 months pregnant, he sat on her tummy and tried to choke her. That was what she said. It's not like we're trying to make this up. And we're saying that she's at fault for speaking up. No, we can't fault the lady. She's just everything now. Definitely these things can be happening without her telling anybody. It's not possible for 6 years. Some of our family members we know, and I'm sure our religious leaders we also know what is going on. But definitely, always the advice is stay there. You married him for a reason. Your children are there. You is going to take care of them. What is going to happen? What will the society say about you?
Speaking about the children, we saw in the video clip where the son was saying, "Mommy, sorry." It broke a lot of people's hearts, because imagine having your child or your children notice or witness how you are being beaten by your husband. The implication it does have to them. They grow up to become, either some of them seeing that beating a woman is equally okay, it's normal, and they either grow up, have girlfriends, and start to beat their girlfriends, because these things usually will start from when you have girlfriend, you'll be beating your girlfriend before it grows into beating your wife. Take an example of that Lee Frost guy who was signed under Davido's management, and his girlfriend called him out for beating her. You saw how she was beaten to a pulp, and like her face was swollen and everything. And he came out to say she had a skin
reaction,
and I'm like, what is he saying?
It's so funny. It's so funny. That video, it's so funny itself. I'm sure many Nigerians, him just coming out to speak, it's just like, let me say something. It's not like he's just trying to speak. He's just trying to, when people are wrong and they tell them you've not done this thing or you've not done anything, you just okay, let me just speak, let me satisfy people. That's what he's trying to do. Not that he's trying to put the claim for
because
himself.
Now
so like that.
The lead first guy is a young adult, which means that in a couple of years he's going to get married, and if he's beating his girlfriend right now, he's going to beat his wife. So there's no two ways about it. There is absolutely no two ways about it. And that's why I feel like for these children who are in that kind of families where they witness their father beating their mother or vice versa, it becomes a very big problem.
They need to take them to where
too.
They need to take them to where they will treat them psychologically. I'm not saying that like we Nigerians, I would say okay, something is wrong with their
but
head,
before the treatment, somebody has to take that move, which is if the person who is the abused should leave. If you ask me, I would say that some level of separation should happen at that point in time. If you're not thinking of divorcing your partner, I think that the right thing to do is if you really want to stay alive for the children, because you say you stay in that marriage for the children, then the point should be, do you want to stay alive for your children? Then you should pick your children and then go somewhere.
And also, now that she has decided to stay in the marriage, she's a doctor, she's staying there, no problem. But your children, please train them and tell them that it's not okay to beat your wife. That is one thing. The children will be there and they'll be looking at these things. But as a woman, and you chose that, okay, I want to stay in this marriage and I'm ready to die, if that is what it's going to take, then no problem. But please make sure your children are sound mentally and emotionally, because these things affect them all the time. Sometimes it's not just being a wife beater, sometimes they become violent and they don't regard women because they feel that they are nothing, because they can beat them, they can treat them anyhow. The stamp on women's immense self-esteem and all that. And I'm even wondering what the lady is going through right now as a doctor, because coming out like this, we see many people will be looking at her and say, okay, what is wrong with you? What's all that thing? Her self-esteem, definitely. You don't just start beating your wife without saying some things to her. She's a doctor, but we don't know what's her specialization, like which side she is. Is she a surgeon? Is she a psychiatrist? So we can't say that, okay, because she's a doctor, she's supposed to know better, just like I mentioned before. Trying to reason it also, I just think that she still needs to get medical help herself. And she also needs to be told that, my dear, if you like your life and you don't want to live for your children, I think it's better for you to live.
Still speaking about their matter, people were calling out on social media. I saw Channels TV trending yesterday on Twitter. A lot of people were talking about the fact that they wanted Channels TV to take preemptive actions against Pius Angbo. They wanted the company, and it still begs the question of, should a company really be involved in the private life of its workers?
They have to it's affecting their brand.
Yeah,
it's affecting their reputation.
A lot of people are, many people are saying that this is a family matter and should not be a workplace, or something that where the family matter and workplace matter is joined together. But the specification of the whole thing was the wife intentionally mentioned Channels TV correspondent. So she wanted people to know who her husband was. And as a result of that, people are saying, okay, since this is where he works, and of course, Channels TV is very popular, we're hoping that they will take punitive action against him. But looking at the level of how the governor of the state has reconciled the matter,
and we have many people coming out to ask her, what's the governor doing there?
And again, Channels TV might not be able to do anything, because as at the time of the report, when she came out with video, they came out and also said that they do not support any form of violence against, and they're going to investigate the matter. But seeing how the governor has come out to say, okay, I'm putting them back together, it leaves Channels TV at a position of where, I don't take my hand, come up for anything involved with that kind of thing.
Another reason why Channels need to take action is, I think we were checking together then, where someone wrote, I'm not surprised, it's Channels TV. Oh, I think it's just like, why am I not surprised? It's not Channels TV. So you begin to ask, is this not affecting their reputation? These people, they have shows that also motivate people. There are shows that also discourage, domestic violence, where they try to talk about many things affecting the society, and we're saying that this is happening in your company with someone in your company right now, and you're not taking action. Are they supposed to take you seriously? That's one of the things that Channels TV need to look at. But I also understand the aspect that, okay, the governors did this and she has accepted to go back. What's our business there? We can't do anything. So it's like putting them in a tough spot. What are they going to do? Are they going to, just follow their fans or talk about the governor and all that? So it's left for them to take the best decision.
All right, seeing that there is already some reconciliation process, we hope that we will not see a repeat of this form of incidents. But then we cannot but help, say that anybody who is definitely going through any form of domestic violence should, speak
Call for help.
Yes, call for help and also speak to professionals. It's really important,
It leads to these things leads to depression, right?
Yes,
actually.
it does.
There was a time I read one story where where I think she wrote suicide notes. The lady, she passed off, and she was like, with the suicide note, she has been receiving, she has been, suffering from domestic violence for a long time. Her family apparently hit the suicide note and tried to blame her husband for it. So she died in order to blame her husband for the death, because she had been suffering emotionally for a long time. So she was depressed, and she ended up trying to kill herself. She killed herself rather, because she does not want to suffer again. And people have been telling her not to. People have been telling her to stay in the marriage and just try to leave the guy, because you picked him, you chose him, and you have no option than to stay there. We even have some religion that discourage divorce and all that.
Of course.
Some religion actually, try to, when you leave the family, they try to join you people back together and say, okay, don't worry, we won't do this again. Don't worry, we won't do that again. But leaving your husband is a crime, because according to the Bible, you are supposed to only marry once. You understand? So we just need to tell people, keep raising this awareness that, my dear, for you to leave, it's okay to leave your marriage. It's okay to walk out, as long as you are suffering emotionally, physically, and mentally.
Maybe
it's okay to just leave.
Maybe if they're not ready to take a divorce, but at that point,
just walk out.
If it's an environment that is really toxic for you and you cannot breathe, I think it's okay for you to literally take some level of separation for you, for your well-being, because sometimes all these things are as a result of trigger. Remember the case of the Ghanaian pastor who, I don't know if you remember that incident, or who basically, he was married to his wife and the wife left him and then went to stay with her brother. The video was viral about a couple of months ago. And then he personally told the lady he was going to kill her. He eventually killed her.
He killed her, yes.
And she even left. This is even someone that left him.
Imagine if she
imagine if she was still, so it's for some of these people, they are really sick in the head.
Very, very,
really, really sick in the head.
We used to question people that some of the things that we see people doing and we just consider normal, I will be like, okay, no, maybe something is wrong with him that moment. It just has to do with their health, with their head. Many people will see bipolars and we don't know, we just see that they are just acting. You don't know that, okay, these people are suffering from this disease,
we spoke
this
about
mental disease, and we don't know. People need to talk
deranged.
about it. I think we need to, spread this awareness. Let people know that there are some things that people are suffering from and they need to get help from. Even the men, I think there are some things that they'll tell you, okay, go for yoga class if you want to control your anger. Okay. Go for yoga class, or do this if you want to control your anger. You have anger issues, or you see a doctor. Let them advise you. Let them treat you, and it works. But here in Nigeria, we just feel that it's normal. Oh no, in their family they have anger issues, so it's normal. Just don't worry. The father did not kill the mother, so definitely they won't kill you. Those kind of things happen, and you begin to wonder that seriously in Nigeria, in another country, this is going on in this world, man.
All right, let's just give our final, conclusion on this matter, because we cannot overflog this matter. Yeah. It's something that happens, and then we keep seeing stories upon stories, and then sometimes you just really get tired of these kind of physical abuses. But then like I would say still, if you're someone who is going through this form of abuse, ensure you find people to talk to, like trusted people away from your circle. Get professional help. Professional help too is now very, very expensive, so some people might not be able to really afford it, but move out of that circle, because even the moving out too is still scary. I just told you of the story of the Ghanaian pastor who his wife even left him. He went as far as looking for her to kill her. Some of all these people, it's very sickening. Sometimes for people who have been abused, they don't even feel safe to come out. They are always locked in there because they are afraid that their abuser can come and locate them. Can even come and locate them and use that as an opportunity to continue abusing them. So remember that marriage is for the living and not for the dead.
At all.
Because if you're going to have to keep fighting for that marriage, you have to do it while you're alive. Once you're dead, you can't
You
fight
might
for
not even
marriage.
stay here before the person
That's
will
the
marry
thing.
another person,
So
another partner. That's
you need
it.
to be very careful. The stories on social media, the stories you see on the papers are not just for you to read. They are for you to digest it and also learn and avoid. When you see red flags, avoid it. Like this man mentioned that she saw a letter of where the man wrote and said he God saved him from abusive women. That kind of man, you should not even be with him in the first place, because you need to find out if he's mentally okay. Because if he's been dating abusive women, it means that he's not okay, and it means that there are tendencies that he would also want to abuse people around him. What do you have to say on the final note?
Well, same as always. We have many human rights activists very close to us all the time. There are phone numbers online that you can call if you know you are really in need and you need help. And if you are, if you really think you're suffering from depression or you think this is okay right now, I think it's better you talk to someone, a close friend, or you feel that the friend is not giving you the right advice. Meet a doctor. Let the doctor advise you on what to do. And also, sometimes we take this. I'm not saying it's not okay for you to go to your religious leader. You can go to them, let them advise you. But the main thing for you to do is speak out. When you speak out, definitely you get help. And your children also, think about your children, think about your family members. And many people will still like to have you alive rather than dead. I think that's the best thing I have to say.
All right, this is where we close the curtains for At the Canal. I remain Precious Triple D, and I have with me
Damnullah Mashaki.
Thank you for watching. Have a fabulous evening.
Every single day, I'm gonna
Hello and welcome to At the Canal on Vanguard Live. Here at the Canal,
We discuss human interest stories at the canal. Critical issues are being discussed at the canal.
We inform and educate people.
join us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday at the Canal.
Let's have that conversation.